Hey, what's up, and welcome to Cranberry Vintage. My name is Mia, and today I'm going to show you what we've accomplished in the garden this weekend. So let's begin. We got the birds out chirping, the dogs barking. It's nice and early, and I figured it would be good to come on out before the sun comes out to kind of show you what we've done this weekend. We have accomplished so much over this past weekend. I am personally proud of everyone, and we have created new spaces that I want to show you, but we also touched up on some areas as well. So what I'm going to show you today is the results of the raspberry trellis and the new container garden area that we got in the back. So with that said, let's go ahead and start with our raspberry trellis, and then we're going to move over to the container garden and just show you some areas that has been touched up. So one of the accomplishments I wanted to show you was the progress on our raspberry bush. One of the big issues we had with the raspberry bush was that it was just overflowing into the walkway. That was an issue because when we would bring things across, like the wheelbarrow or the lawnmower, we would actually damage the raspberry. So I wanted to create somewhat like a trellis to hold it all together and make it stay. Now, I didn't really go all out on this. I wanted to really repurpose what I had, and I was really more focused on functionality more so than design. So I just went through my yard and found things that I could just use to do the job. In this case, I repurposed some old wood from my trellis bed that I took down, and literally I went to Home Depot and just bought some 12 gauge wiring, some metal loopholes that you can screw in, and that's about it. I had the screws. Actually, I found some indoor-outdoor screws that I had already on deck, so I just went through and I started marking. I started off marking where everything was going to be. Then I drilled the holes. Then I screwed the loopholes in there, and then I just literally carried the wire across. And as you can tell, it's lifting up the vines and making everything stand upright. And that's really what I wanted. Now, during the fall, when everything dies back, I'm going to get to the other side where the fencing is at, and I'm going to put some wiring over there as well. The whole goal is to kind of keep it upright so that it won't get in the way. So that's our raspberry bush. It did pretty good. I think this took about 30-45 minutes to do because I was very meticulous on I didn't want to hurt the plant. So that's what we did on that. Next, we're going to check out our container area. So another element that I really want to get comfortable with is container gardening. And this year I decided to revisit that. I kind of touched on it last year, but it was so much that I didn't know, and the vegetables didn't do so hot last year. So this year I took a lot of time out to actually sit down and read up on it, and I decided to give it another shot. This is how it turned out. So far it's looking really good. I decided to use a lot of the seedlings that I already had. I put as many as I could in the bed, and then the ones that were remaining, I put them in containers. I have beans in one. We have cucumbers, we have definitely tomatoes, basil, sage, rosemary and thyme and chives, and we even decided to do some shallots this year. Another thing we also added was perlite into it because I was using a different type of soil this year. My mom got a lot of good gardening soil, and just to make sure that it was light enough for the plants, I decided to add a bunch of perlite to it. So we're gonna see how it goes. So far, everything looks like it's coming back and it's doing really well. So we're gonna see how the season goes. So the next thing that I need to buy for that area is some stakes and also a few trellises for the cucumbers. So that's pending, but we did really good on that and I'm really happy. The next thing I'm going to show you is another garden bed. And I wanted to show you what it looked like bare, a little bare, so you can see as it grows over time. In this bed, we put a combination of peppers, onions, and herbs. And if you notice right here, our onions are doing great. They're already coming up. Our basil is doing awesome. And our peppers are still standing. One thing that you don't see in our beds just yet is zinnias. Yesterday we came out about 5 or 6 o'clock and we put zinnias throughout the garden and nasturtiums. We put nasturtiums out here too. The whole goal is to create like a butterfly area, or create an area that would attract the insects and have them come into our vegetable area. Just like we got our pollinator garden behind us in the next section behind us, we also kind of wanted to put a mini pollinator garden here so that the beneficial insects can come and actually pollinate the plants. So that is also the section behind me that you see. This year, this section is going to be full of zinnias, nasturtiums, so forth and so forth. So now we're just letting it happen. So we'll see how that goes. The next thing that I have to do is get some fertilizer for the vegetables. And my goal is to get, I would say, Dr. Earth. We're going to try that. Our goal is to really be organic back here, not really use any GMOs or anything like that. So I'm looking for a lot of organic materials and organic pest deterrents and fertilizers for the garden. So we're going to get some Dr. Earth. We're going to see how it goes back here and see how it does with the plants. Okay guys, so that's what's happening so far in the garden. Like I said, I am so proud of us. We really got a lot done this weekend. It's looking beautiful. It's coming together. Our next mission is to finish weeding and also to eventually order some wood chips. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to order some wood chips and have them delivered. So instead of trying to find free wood chips, or going to get them, I don't feel like doing all the extra stuff. So, but we'll see how we do ordering in bulk and see how that goes. With that said, if you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell and that like button. We really do appreciate it. And every like, subscribe helps Cranberry Vintage gets closer and closer to our goal. Our first goal is to get 500 subscribers. After that, we're going to go up to 1,000 and so forth and so forth. So thank you guys. It is time for me to continue my day. With that being said, you have an awesome day and stay super-tastic.